Hi, I'm the Michael Myers fanatic.
And this is Shane Poole, and this what you're about to hear was an interview with Marcus Dunstan, who is the writer director of the new Halloween film. The original interview lasted about 2 hours and 10 minutes, but due to technical difficulties, we were only able to salvage about 20 minutes of the actual recording, and you will hear some audio dropouts throughout. Um, but we are on the hook to possibly interview him again in the near future. So, did you have anything else that you wanted to add, Darnell?
Uh, Not really. I want to say that judging from what he said, it's gonna obviously follow one, two, and three. And he did say that from what I got from it, the opening scene is gonna be very violent. So I'm looking
And
forward to seeing.
he did mention about a judge's gavel dropping, and that we
Yeah,
would know that would be when Halloween is back. And then he also mentioned that it was kind of influenced by something that happened early on in his life. A family member of his was murdered when he was younger, and this kind of movie is going to take place with from a victim's perspective of, a family member's been murdered, and you always think about what you would do if you ever confronted that person, the person that killed your family member, what you would do to them. So these aren't going to be weakly portrayed characters. They're going to be strong characters, ready for a confrontation, so to speak. Do you recall that, Darnell?
that's what I got from it. Sounds good to me. Sounds interesting. And one more thing I want to add before I go is that he says that he's content with this one movie. So it sounded to me like he's saying, he's not going to say there aren't going to be any sequels, but as of right now, he doesn't plan on making one. So I just want to let them know that.
Yeah, they did talk about like if this is successful or whatever, but he said he's going more for the experience, making this movie to be an experience rather than just a regular movie or making it with a sequel in mind. So if that's all you have to say, Darnell, I have to say we just get right to it, and we'll let the viewers listen.
And here's the interview with Marcus Dunstan. Halloween returns, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy. I approve this message.
Late, like Halloween's back.
Yeah, definitely.
Halloween, if you have a semicolon, returns could
Right,
be like
subtitle, right?
if it was. I mean, I think I put it in an email as a subtitle, like, okay. Oh, here's how you can get away. But now it is. I think it was logged or registered as Halloween Returns, which is fine. I mean, I like that because it's quite clean, and it works. It does function as what it means to say. But if you commit a violent act, sometimes you get returns.
Okay.
And it's like, what are the repercussions of being a violent entity? And in that case, Halloween Returns could mean a number of things.
So you're basically, I see right now that you're giving me an ambiguous answer right now.
Absolutely.
So you're doing it to me on purpose,
Yes.
Make them suffer a little.
Absolutely.
Oh man! So you're telling me I have to wait until October of what, of 2016? Is that the targeted date or what?
Well, I don't think it's not coming out next month.
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I mean, I hope, like, ideally, I hope some night or some Comic-Con. I mean, this is the fanboy talking in me from the original is, there's this asterisk in the panel, or maybe it's Fantastic Fest, and there's this untitled movie or something. And then, right when people don't know what it is, and a lot of people are like, well, I'm going to go to the bathroom, and it just hits. And no one sees it coming. And you're like, oh, got it. There it is.
Do you have a cast? I mean, how far is this thing developed? Do you have a cast? If I'm allowed to ask that.
The coolest thing we've done so far is a couple of motion tests.
Okay.
With potential Michaels,
Oh,
and that was awesome. That was really cool. Like even with an iPhone, even with just no music, to see and see someone not quite have it and then find it in, you know, a second to third take and whatnot is so great. I mean, so yeah, I think if some of us have actually seen about 20 seconds of what this thing could be, and it's like, oh, come on. So I want to see the film very badly. I want to see a film shot on film. I want it to be the one that it stands on its own. Like when I was growing up, I didn't know there was a movie called Alien, because one night I turned on HBO and there was this movie starting, and I just watched it. Oh, what am I looking at? Oh, that's a metal cutter, and oh, there's a woman in a pod, and oh, she's been through something, and her cat's freaked out too, and I saw Aliens first. I never knew there was an alien. And so I was completely satisfied with this singular entity movie, and it changed a lot of things for me about, well, the horror, the action, and the caliber of performance and the emotional wringing out that Aliens does. Then when I went back and watched Alien, that was my sequel, and it was an origin story for the woman in the pod. And I was like, whoa, that is terrifying. So just from a filmmaking standpoint, if I am so lucky, if this crazy train stays on the tracks, if we make this movie as it is, wow, I hope to reach back in time to that kid that was scared in the basement and let him know things are going to be okay.
So with you doing the writing and the directing, are you also going to be able to choose your own cast?
Oh, that I think is, I actually there's something cool about having a few singular choices. Like, I want this person to be this person. I want this, but I like collaborating with the casting director and with the producer, and especially with the studio. I mean, when they're writing a check, they all set up a good state of checks and balances. And I like that, because I may know a performer from a 5-minute in and out in a room, and I get that dose. And if someone else knows another part of their canon, for example, I was in a meeting the other day, and I really like this actress Jillian Jacobs, and hey, she's known for all this comedy on Community, and yet I didn't know her from Community first. I knew her from a movie called Gardens of the Night, which is one of the most wrenching dramas, and she's excellent. And I thought, like, wow, I wonder if this great performer, I would do that again, would like to go there. And I think so. I think actors have so many facets that the movies or the television or whatnot lets them evolve as many times as they're given the opportunity to do so. So I like when, I don't know, I like in that sense, I enjoy a committee vibe. Once the committee has made all the decisions, though, then okay, let's try to keep it to one voice and one check on when it gets into the creative time. Right. We all have, the best sets I've been on have one sworn enemy, and that enemy is the clock. And we all line up side by side and just fight the clock. That's cool. And that allows, because we're all protecting a kid that can't defend itself, and that kid is a movie, and it grows day by day, and it gets raised in the edit room.
So let's get to a question that's on everybody's mind: The Mask. Do you have your own vision for The Mask? Are you going to pay homage to the original? You going with something new like Rob Zombie did? What are we looking at here? Can you talk about it?
Oh, well, actually, all right. Without kind of answering that, but kind of answering that, I think the key, all right, now, embracing the idea of social media or whatnot, I think one of the first key images is got to be that cleverly set up Instagram photo of the mask in profile, but with a quarter edge lighting, so you know right away what the intent is. And if it looks like anything disparaging at all for anybody, then we fail. But our goal is really to got to create that Han Solo and Chewie moment.
Ultra excited for this film, so it sounds like it's going to be amazing.
Well, I hope so. I hope we get to stay the course and make it and whatnot. Because otherwise, hey, it could be a year from now and we're talking about what could have been, or it's a year from now and we're talking about all these things I can't quite tell you and can't wait for you to see.